Hiya! Welcome back. Winter is approaching us and the weather is getting more and more chilly. I already take out my cozy blanket from my bed as well as my fluffy slipper, but there's nothing quite like a comforting and warming meal to enjoy at home. That's why I'm here to share with you my favorite spicy hot pot recipe that will not only satisfy your craving, but also keep you very cozy during this cold weather. This recipe only takes around 15 minutes to make and it's very simple, but the best thing about it is that you can adjust the spiciness to your preference. Check it out. Honey friends, this is Erica right here. I'm a Taiwanese citizen, currently living in America. Cooking and traveling are my passion, so I'm here to share with you my favorite Asian recipe. I make kitchen trivia short and Asian home cooking recipe on this channel, so if that interests you, please subscribe and keep watching. Now when it comes to hot pot, there's countless amount of flavor you can choose for your broth. And if you go into the Chinese grocery store and look into those aisle that is selling instant hot pot package, you might find it a little overwhelming to decide which one to pick. Not to mention that these options available in the store represent only a small fraction of total choice available. But do you see what I see? Here, let's look at it again. You can see how many of them are spicy hot pot. Why? Because Chinese people love spicy food, especially spicy hot pot. If you've ever been to a hot pot restaurant and you share a huge pot in the center with your friends with 2 or more broth flavor, and if you look around and saw actual immigrant Chinese like me sitting at the table, you'll see almost every single time there will be at least one spicy flavor hot pot in one of those 2 choices. But if you look at the other side, it could be different every time. My point here is that since you click into this video, I bet that you can enjoy a little bit of spiciness, if not a lot. Or else you're not gonna click into a spicy hot pot video, aren't you? But most of the instant hot pot packaging sell in the Asian grocery store are made in China, and if not, made for Chinese people. Which means they can be very spicy, and if you can't handle much spice, homemade spicy hot pot might be your best choice right here. Also, I'm not exactly sure for the reason of this, but every time I bought an instant hot pot from the grocery store and bring it back home to cook, the spicy ones, I always have some sort of stomach issue the second day or 2-3 days in a row after that. But it doesn't happen when I cook it myself. So today I went to the grocery store and looked at those packaged ingredient list, and I realized one of the packages I buy all the time back in the day, and guess what I see for the first ingredient in this list? Hydrogenic fat. Oh god, that's your first ingredient? No wonder why my body hates it. Well, this is just my theory. It could be other reasons. For example, it's just way too spicy for me in general, but I don't experience that in a hot pot restaurant either, so I don't know. But I definitely don't react the same way with my homemade spicy hot pot. Now, besides the broth recipe, make sure you stay to the end of the video where I teach you how to deal with the leftover ingredients for hot pot in general. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? Here are the ingredients that we'll need for today's spicy hot pot broth. Understanding what are these ingredients doing to your broth is very important because in this way, you'll be able to adjust the ingredient by yourself. So first, let's talk about oil. I like to mix in olive oil and sesame oil at the same time for my hot pot because sesame oil have a special aroma that no other oil possess, but if you only heat up your sesame oil by itself, it's very easy to get burned and turn bitter. So if you add in extra virgin olive oil, we will higher the smoke point and blend them together for a better execution. And also if you don't have extra virgin olive oil, you can use other cooking oil with a higher smoke point than sesame oil. And now let's talk spicy. Here we have a few sources of spicy agent in our ingredients, which is fresh chili, dried chili, and chili sauce. For the main spicy taste of the hot pot, in general, people like to use 辣豆瓣酱, spicy bean paste sauce. But this type of sauce to me is a little bit more on the saltier side than spicy, so I prefer to use Guilin Chili sauce. You can give both a try and see which one you prefer, or if you have homemade Chinese style chili paste, that'll be even better. Another thing that you can add spiciness into your pot is the chili pepper. Fresh chili pepper specifically, because the fresh one is more spicy than the dry one in general, and today the dry chili, I'm only using it for aroma. And speaking of spicy aroma, the ingredient that provides that the most is the dried chili. And today I'm using the so-called lantern pepper, which is a type of pepper that is less spicy but with great aromas. Usually when you're eating hot pot, you're eating with at least one other person or in a big group. But today I'm just making this hot pot for myself and kind of for the filming purpose, so I'm making a very small portion, which I also want to encourage you to enjoy hot pot even you live by yourself. I'm using a clay pot on mine today, which is a perfect size. But you can use any other material besides cast iron or carbon steel iron Sichuan, or any exposed iron material. Because some acidic broth can eat into the patina you built up on your wok and melt that chemical into your broth. We don't want that. Now, with a cool clay pot, we'll add in our sesame oil and olive oil together. Turn on the heat to medium and wait till it heats up. Clay pot relatively have a lower thermal conductivity, so it might take a little bit longer than you thought. But say if you're using a stainless steel pot, then that heat might be way too much for our herbs and spices and it gonna get burned, so you wanna adjust that heat a little bit. The goal right here is to heat up and activate our spice and herbs, but not burn them. If you're using clay pot like me, make sure you don't use high heat in this process because high heat or dry heating the pot can cause cracking in clay pot. And if you still think that different heat only depends on your stove, I'm telling you, you're wrong. And you should probably check out this 1 minute short to learn the difference between high, medium, and low heat, as well as simmer. Spoiler alert, it always comes down to what cookware you use, not the stove. To tell if the oil is hot enough or not, you just add in your ginger, and if you hear the sizzling noise, that means it's hot enough. Keep the medium heat and let the ginger curl up like this. Then turn the heat to low and add in your garlic, dried chili pepper, anise, Sichuan peppercorn, and white scallion. Stir fry for 30 seconds to a minute or until you can see that the dried chili pop up and look shiny like this. The aroma is activated. Next step, add in chili sauce, soy sauce, and sugar. Both chili sauce and soy sauce need to be in contact with hot oil with the same reason as our spices to force out its aroma. But paste is relatively easier to get burned than the spices, so be careful. Right away, add in your water or broth as well as scallion green. I'm using water with some hondashi right here, which is a type of Japanese fish MSG. But if you have a problem with MSG, then you can make whatever broth you prefer, or just use water. Last step, just add in your salt and let it boil for 10 minutes. When the time's up, you can remove all of the herb, but I would like to keep the chili pepper inside to make it look more authentic, and done! Now we got our broth, we can start to put in our ingredients. For today's single serving hot pot, I got some spinach, Chinese cabbage, enoki mushroom, white mushroom, tofu, fish ball, egg roll, and some shrimp. And obviously we can't forget the beef slices, but you can choose to put it into the pot right now and cook it, or you can add in during the hot pot session. Now if you're making this hot pot broth to share with everybody, but it's like your first time enjoying hot pot, and you're a little bit afraid of like, oh, like how do I know what I put in is done or not? And how do I know if this meatball is mine or my husband's? You should probably check out this hot pot explain video that I made a few years ago. It's gonna explain everything you need to know about hot pot experience for you. Now lunch is over and I'm completely satisfied, but look at all the leftover I have. Every time I have hot pot, there's more leftover than what I eat. So I come up with a way to deal with these leftovers. We're talking about uncooked ingredient, but not a cooked ingredient. If it's cooked, you should just finish it or toss it away. But if there's a lot of ingredient that you prepare to cook, but you didn't put it into the pot and it's still fresh and raw, this is how we store it. What I like to do is to portion them out and store them together like this. Especially when I was living alone in China, because I know exactly how much I need every single time. I won't froze the uncooked veggie or mushroom because it will ruin its texture, and these ingredients are easy to utilize in other recipes as well. When you frozen a traditional tofu, after you defrost it, it's gonna turn into frozen tofu, a complete different texture tofu than you ever experienced before. If you're curious about what it looks like and what it's gonna taste like, check out this same but different tofu video, and it's gonna explain the frozen tofu for you. Now with this box filled with so many different ingredients, and then next time if I wanna cook hot pot, I just need to take this box out instead of a million bags. You're welcome. Now before you go, let's learn how to say spicy hot pot in Mandarin Chinese. 麻辣锅 spicy hot pot. 麻辣锅 Thank you for watching to the end. Let me know if you like this recipe by giving this video a thumbs up. It's only gonna take you a second, but it means a lot to me and my channel. I make videos twice a week on my channel, so make sure you click that bell so you never miss out. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe on my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!